But here's the thing. Why didn't you ask me?
Because I never saw it. I never even thought you were. It never once crossed my mind. This podcast is gonna go off the rails for sure.
Oh, hold on.
Oh,
I was gonna use a shot glass that my sister gave me, which is Pride. It's a Pride shot, but you already took it?
no.
Oh.
You already took him. Yeah, I'm waiting for the second one.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers. To what? Years and years.
I don't know. I already fucking took it.
Years and years of knowing each other. Hey, welcome back to Too Hard, Too Fast. The podcast was, that's the old intro. Already off the rails. The podcast where the goal is to broaden perspectives all while going off the rails. And I think this episode is definitely going to go off the rails, mostly because I think it's going to be different. It's not going to be like where I'm trying to actually get to know a guest by the first time meeting them. I think I've known this guy for like ever, 2005.
Yeah, since 2005. Feels like we've known each other since like 1776, dude. Like,
and then I got to meet him again in like 2012 or something.
yeah, around that time, yeah.
We'll talk about it. But and we'll get into it. It's Pride Month. Happy Pride. And this is the Too Hard, Too Fast Pride episode.
Oh, is this a pure episode?
I don't know. It should be, right? Or no?
Oh, let me.
I put this up here just for you, Fern.
Let's go.
Sit back, buckle up. Let's go. Too hard, too fast. Boom.
Welcome to Too Hard, Too Fast.
Welcome back
to Too Hard,
Too Fast.
Anything that rolls downhill, man.
I mean, old habits die hard, right?
It's the podcast by the people, for the people.
Well, I'm going too hard, too fast.
We are double fisted on that ass.
Only here, too hard, too fast. Let's do it.
Welcome to Hard to Pass. Welcome to Hard to Pass. Welcome to Too Hard to Pass. Is that what it is? There's someone at my door. Hold on. Okay. Welcome to Hard to Pass. Like, no. Welcome to Too Hard to Pass. Maybe we should have done this at the beginning.
So welcome everyone to Too Hard, Too Fast podcast.
That's right. Where we go off the rails and George has to worry about it. So here we go.
For the podcast of the century.
Cheers.
You know what, Fern? I was saying that's not for Pride. My son actually painted that, and so I thought it was cool, and I always kept it up there. But you know what? I don't discriminate on that, and I don't virtual signal, or do I?
Well, sounds to me like you do.
Hey, you know what, Ferd? If you want some of these beads, you know what to do. Oh man, by the end of the episode, I'm gonna have like all color. I'm gonna have a rainbow on my neck with these beads. Also, Al. Fernzers, Fern. Do you want people to know your real name?
Sure. My full name and my social.
If you want to put it, your social, the internet is forever, vato. If you want your real name out there, I'm always gonna call you what I call you is Fern or Fernzers.
Oh yeah, I mean, my real name is Oscar, which a lot of my close friends know.
I refuse to call you that. I've never met an Oscar I like.
I've come to terms that I'm gonna die being known as Fern by my close friends. Like that's just a fact.
Oh, are you here for Oscar's funeral? No. Fern? Se murió el güey, Fern? It's that guy. I might be at the wrong one.
Yeah. That's funny though, because like Fern came to me in 2005, right? 2005, 2006.
But Fern is your real middle name, Fernando.
Fernando's my middle name, yeah. So my full name is Oscar Fernando Alvarado Campos.
Ay, de San Miguel.
But you should and call me Fern, you know.
Well, I just throw it out there because I don't want like whoever's listening, the three people that are listening. I didn't want them to think that that Fern, the name Fern just came out of nowhere. Like, no, fuck the name Oscar. We're just calling you this.
No, it came because of my last name, and I think if I remember correctly, I mean, those college years were kind of a blur, most of them. But I think it came because of Sean when I introduced myself to him first, and after that, like everyone just picked it up, and I was like, fuck it, whatever, it's just run with it, and I've been running with it for almost 17 years now. Because my family just calls me Oscar. Some other friends call me Fernando, but Fern kicked in college, so I stuck with it since then. So
I've noticed that most of your fresa friends, like, they call you Oscar. Oh, Oscar.
Oh yeah, because only my college friends call me Fern. Everyone else knows me as Oscar or Oscar, and some know me as Daddy. But that's just.
And who are those fresa friends I'm talking about? I don't know. Figure it out.
Let's not put names out there because I get sued.
Because the internet's forever. Hey, I like your shirt. I just saw it. Even though, like, ladies and gentlemen, we've been on here for an hour. We were supposed to be recording an hour ago. And we've had major technical difficulties and also just pendejadas. What's your shirt? Is he smoking?
Yeah, it's a skull. It's smoking.
I
I bought it when I went to Mexico City last time. It was only like $5. So,
dang. I moved to New York. Now it's all about the smoke life.
Well, I'm not in New York, but yeah, I moved to the East Coast.
Oh, you don't want people to know where you live or what? Sober George is already like editing your address on here. So people, if you want to stop by at Fernzers,
I mean, if they want to send me some money, I like tortas and tacos too. So if they want to send anything in, I'm more than welcome. I'll welcome them with open arms and open mouth. I mean, edit that out.
Oh shit. Oh man. See, already, like I said, this is definitely gonna be a different kind of podcast. Too Hard Too Fast podcast. We're gonna learn a lot, but
Well, thanks for finally inviting me to the podcast.
Bitch. Man, I've been trying to get you on. You're like, nah, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in you, Vato. You're gonna fail within the month.
True, but also I don't like the public things. I don't like to be on video and my face is showing. So it's Hey, I worked out this morning because I was like, I want to feel good for the podcast. So I went to work out and I was like struggling halfway through the workout, but I made it.
That's why I put this one on. Like I had this other shirt on, but I wanted that one's a short sleeve, and this one is like the baseball tee that makes my arms look a little nicer. So I was like, if this is gonna be the Pride podcast, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not putting myself out there, but I'm out there for you to look at.
I don't think no one's interested.
Just black out your screen. No, like this one makes me feel nicer, makes me feel good too. But even though it's like fucking hot outside, like that's why I keep doing this because I'm sweating.
I hear Texas is melting, dude. Like it's ridiculous. And surprisingly, right now the East Coast is kind of chilly out today. Like it's in the 70s today, which usually it's like a normal weather, I guess, around here. But Nobody
cares about weather, Fern. We don't do this shit in this podcast.
Well, I was trying to go into the weather section of the podcast.
We all know it's fucking hot. Johnny, how's the weather out there? Sorry, I'll promise not to be such an a-hole the whole time.
For a very long time, you can do that.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is like I think every time we're hanging out, this is exactly what it is. Is we're talking shit to each other, and then we end up talking about something serious, and I'm like, dude, or one of us will like ruin the whole thing.
Yeah, true.
Which is how Too Hard Too Fast goes. But it's gonna be hard to, because you went into like serious about the weather, And I was like, oh, I don't like this, Fern.
Oh my god. You're like, it's too early in the conversation to go into seriousness right now.
Yeah, even if it's the weather, nobody gives a shit about your science and that the oceans are drying out.
I'm not drunk enough for that yet, so.
Okay, not right now. This is not why they listen to the podcast. If they listen to the podcast. No, we probably shouldn't have taken that shot to begin with. Fern, actually, let's go into what we're drinking. I was thinking that I was done with like doing like, hey, what are you drinking? Rate it. But I've kind of like also like it a little bit. So I don't know if I want to take it completely out or where I'm going with it. But right now, Fern, what are you drinking?
Well, I am drinking. Well, it is Saturday and it's, well past noon. So I'm drinking mimosas. I didn't have a flute glass, so I had to use a wine glass, but I'm drinking mimosas, very strong mimosas. So.
Oh, yeah, we were supposed to do this as a brunch episode.
I know, it's fucking 2:30 already.
What kind of champagne are you using?
So
cheap shit or like fancy shit?
I would say in the middle because it's La Marca. Have you heard of it?
Oh, okay. That's the one. We've had that one on Chef Mary Lou Davis.
Yeah, it's good. It doesn't give me a bad hangover. It just gives me like a decent hangover where I can survive the next day. Yeah, it's not too sweet. So it's a good thing, especially if you're mixing it with orange juice, which tends to be sweet. I had made a whole picture of it and now it's like halfway through. We've been on this call for like almost an hour and a half now. 1 hour.
Yeah. Hey, you don't have to justify your alcoholism.
I've never tried to do that. People know me and they love me for who I am. Okay.
I love you for who you are.
Oh.
Oh, that was I take it back. Sober George, edit that out because come on, man. Be better.
You don't want to sound too queer into that episode.
To what?
Huh?
What did you say?
But you don't want it to sound too queer into the queer episode.
Oh, you said the Q word. Oh my God, I'm offended for you.
Excuse me?
I can't use that word, Fern. I'll leave that word in because I didn't say it. I just feel like I can't say that word. I wouldn't want to.
I never understood why non-queer people can't say it. I don't know. Because it's not used in a derogative way, it's not like other words that can be used in that way, but I don't know, queer is pretty much used everywhere nowadays. And I think to me, queer encompasses everything that the LGBTQ community is part of, right? So I don't see why people shouldn't use it, but just my opinion.
Well, here, I think definitely have talked about it on the podcast before, and I can't believe we're already here when we were talking about La Marca. But
well, let's go back to La Marca.
no, real quick, we'll go back to La Marca. But I've said on this podcast before that I've gotten in trouble, or not in trouble, but it was brought to my attention on how my use of the word gay was being used. That it was offensive or it could be taken offensive, or at the very least was like upsetting. And so I almost went the other, like 100% the other direction, where it's like, and that's kind of like the person I am, where it's like I either go full in or I just don't give a shit and do my own thing. So I don't even know what that means, but so in that sense, I could have been like, nah, fuck you. I'll say whatever I want and I'll keep saying it. Or I'm like, oh no, okay, I get it. And now I'm like completely deleting that word from my vocabulary. So the only time I really use the gay word is when I'm around my gay friends. Like, and mostly because you guys call me gay for whatever thing I say. And I'm like, oh shit, well, it's free game now, motherfuckers.
Well, I think true. But I think it was also like the way I know who you're talking about, which person you're talking about specifically. We both know. But it was more for that person. It was more the way you were using it. And like I told you, me, it doesn't really bother me because I know you and I know you don't mean any harm with it. To that person, which I would assume knows you a little bit more than any other person, sounded bad in a way. And the good thing is, like, he told you about it, you understood it, and that's what's important, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, it wasn't ugly. Like, it really opened up my eyes. Like, it really, like, as we say here on Too Hard, Too Fast, broadened my perspective on it. And I was like, yeah, I'm using the word to describe shit I don't want to do. Like, if something that is like doesn't seem appealing to me, I would say, oh, that's gay. Or something that was like, I guess I used it for everything, man. I used it like when something was girly or whatever. I was like, oh, that's gay. But I would also, I think the worst was like using it for something that wasn't appealing. And so I get 100% what he said. But my thing was like, well, I'm just not going to use it at all because I don't need to use it in my vocabulary. Like, doesn't need to be said. Like, oh, when something's gay, it doesn't really need to be pointed out. Really, does it? I don't know. At least not by me. But I'll use it like to describe, like, here in San Antonio, I'll be like, I'm very comfortable saying, oh, that's the gay strip, or that's the gay bar, that's a gay bar, or stuff like that. Like, and I'm not saying like, oh, that's a bar that sucks. I'm saying like that's literally a gay bar.
You used to get free drinks at the gay bars, and that's where you used to go. I mean,
the internet is forever. And you know what? Finally, Fern acknowledges that I was able to get free drinks.
Used to. That was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, that was about 100 pounds ago.
Now you have to pay for them.
Yeah. I don't think they let me in anymore anyway. Oh man. Anyways, back to La Marca. We'll get back to the gay stuff later.
Ooh.
Can I say that? I felt a little dirty saying it.
I mean, it's just you and me talking, right? So it's
no one's listening. You and me talking with whoever's listening later. Anyways, La Marca hangover. I've never had it. I've had it. The good thing about La Marca is that they sell it at gas stations. So if you're a fan of it,
really,
you can get it almost anywhere. Yeah, at least here in Texas.
Well, you see, the first time that I had it was in an airplane. That was the only thing they were serving at the time. And they had the little bottles, not like little, but like this big. And it was really good. And I'm not a champagne kind of guy. I'm not even a mimosa kind of guy. But for some reason, I've been craving mimosas. And so I was like, let's try it out. I had that one. It was good. I got drunk in an airplane out of La Marca. I wasn't working at that time. So it was... Okay, so we're just talking about what I'm drinking. What are you drinking?
Okay, so like I said, I don't like to like virtual signal, and I don't, the whole stuff like everybody's turning their logos into the rainbow, and it's like just for the month of June.
And it's just a fucking pride flag just falls from behind you. Any drag queen shows up and everything.
RuPaul, come on. So, like I said, I don't like to virtual signal, but when we initially thought about this podcast, we were thinking of doing like a huge pride thing.
Yeah, we were.
And shout out to Victor, wherever you're at, man. No, man, I hope you're recovering wherever you're at, Vato, and we miss you. And whenever you're back on the podcast, for sure. But yeah. When we were gonna do that, all three of us were talking about doing the Pride episode, and I was like, "Well, I need to get a beer that for sure like showcases the Pride, at least turns their logo into fucking a rainbow." And I didn't see any of it. Maybe it's out there and I missed it, but I didn't find a lot of beers that did that. And I was gonna leave the store, and I found this little gem right here. Baby.
Ooh, wine.
It's a wine. It's a house wine. Rose bubbles. Ooh, I think I'm gonna get the rose bubbles later. For sure, get the rose bubbles before the churro. So I'm drinking vodka here as usual over here, like on the side. Just I always feel like whenever guests are here and they're drinking their stuff, and I'm just drinking from like an unmarked container. Like I feel like they're like, is he really drinking or is he just getting us drunk so we can talk?
For all we know, you're just fooling us with water in there.
No,
or-
true, man.
like,
Hey, don't tell my secrets, vato. Anyway, so this is house wine, limited edition rose bubbles. And is it limited edition because you know what? It's just for the month of June?
yeah.
Or what, you know? What are we doing here, guys?
Well, what's the alcohol content on that?
Okay, so it's mm. So two of these would equal one bottle, apparently. Two of these. I should have bought two of them.
Which
House
is what?
wine will donate. What's that?
This is like 13% on the bottle
I
wine.
can't find it, honestly. Which is not a good sign. I hate when they don't post it right away because here, maybe I just gotta look. 12%. Ooh,
Okay,
yeah.
not bad.
12% for a can. That's not bad. So two of them equals a thing. House wine. Everyone's welcomed in our house. House wine will donate $2 to the Human Rights Campaign for every case of limited edition rose bubbles sold. Sorry, guys, I have a hard time reading. Hey, but hey, ask me a math question. I'll get it right. Anyways, so you have to buy a case of this. What's a case? Is it a 12 ouncer, a 6 ounce? I mean, a 6-pack or a 12 pack?
12, because cases are
24.
no, I think cases start at 12, and then you just get the 6-packers. Well, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It's gluten free. I'll tell you that.
Ooh.
Oh crap! Oh, I went all over the place. That's what she
That's what he said.
said. Eee. Oh, it smells real good.
Oh, yes, it does.
Somebody told me you have to do this.
Yeah, that's kind of what poppers are for too.
Is it just a cook?
Oh, oh my god.
I made a mess all over my computer, man. If this thing turns off, I'm sorry.
I chop on like anyways.
Anyways, here we go. House wine. House winers.
Oh shit, no.
No, I just didn't. I forgot it was carbonated, so I was gonna drink it like a regular wine. It went in my nose.
Ew.
It went in my nose. Hold on.
That's never a good sign.
Oh, okay. So, what would you give La Marca from 1.0 to 2?
I never understood that.
So it's like it's basically from 1 through 10, but use decimals. So
1 through 2.
because we try to keep it on the brand of 2, so 1.0 to 2. So
Yeah, and I just realized the password thing. Like,
I don't tell everybody the password, motherfucker.
Yeah. Anyways, La Marca. I would say like a 9.
Like a 9 from 1.0 to 2.
1 point. you see, it does make sense to me.
So maybe a 1.9.
1.9.
That is very generous and very inaccurate. Because I've had La Marca.
So it's my grade, okay?
I've had La Marca and I would highly disagree with you. It is good, but not that good. This house wine with the rainbow color. It gets points because it caught my eye. Maybe it only caught my eye because I was there for one reason and looking for like something that yells pride at me. I do like that they donate money to a cause, the Human Rights Campaign. So I'm taking all that into consideration. It's 12%, but the flavor is not that great for me.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
no. So I'm gonna have to go being generous because of the way it looks and what they do. a 1.43. So in layman's terms for Fernzers, that would be like a 4.3 on a regular 1 through 10 scale.
Oh wow, it makes fucking sense.
Yeah, see, so it's like a 1.43 is, you know, it's basically the same shit, Fern.
This is why I don't support you. Okay.
Now, for real, I'm glad that you like listen to the episodes. Oh, we should do like ASMR.
Sounds very dirty right now.
Dude, for real. Like, okay, so one of the things on TikTok when I'm scrolling is like I get the ASMR videos and I'll listen to them, and the whole time I'm like, is anybody around me? Like, I don't want them to know. And all they're not doing anything bad. Like, they're fully clothed, everything, but all they're doing is just like,
That is so weird.
thank you very much for following me. Subscribe to Too Hard Too Fast podcast. So stuff like that. And I'm just like, I hope nobody walks in right now. Like, I'm ready to scroll up in case. It's like I'm not watching, but it just makes me feel like I am. To other people, they say it's like, oh, it's so soothing. It puts me to sleep. I'm like, dude, it's like, it's rowdy, man. Anyways, that's my take on that. Fern, what are you gonna say, man? I feel like you were gonna say something. I kept cutting you off.
I know you were. How rude. No, I don't know. I don't know what I was gonna say. Did you freeze? Mother. I can't stand you.
I
don't know why my manager.
tried to go longer. I tried to stay longer without laughing.
Che gordo.
I couldn't. All right, man. Okay, completely off the rails. Oh,
Ooh,
fuck. All right. Let's bring it back, dude. Let's get back to like let's. All right, yeah. Bájale tu pinche pedo. All right.
Hey, you need some new curtains.
Shit, man. I know. I want some blackout curtains. Just because it's so fucking hot, but
Yeah, when I lived in Miami, I had blackout curtains. They were fucking amazing. I love them. What?
I live in Miami. I live in New York. I live in Miami.
I lived in Boston too.
Okay, I get it, Fern. I drove you.
Oh yeah.
Oh, thanks for forgetting one of the coolest things that ever happened to me.
Well, you know,
I would never. I like anybody that knows me, which is very few people, because I don't have friends. They don't want to know me. Dude, I hate driving anywhere. I hate driving. Like, for the most part, I would hate to take a long road trip anywhere. But driving across the country was pretty cool to see. And even though the destination was somewhere I wanted to go anyway, so selfishly, I was like, I fucking love Boston because I love the Boston Bruins. So I want to go be there. So anyways, it was a cool trip. And then the only thing that sucked, but it was still kind of fun, was that blowout we had in Connecticut.
I know, that was fucking scary though.
Yeah, scary. While you're this guy, just taking pictures of me. I'm the one fucking.
I was the one driving. You were the one that changed the tire.
That's true. I was I asleep when it happened?
I don't remember. I remember when it happened. I just remember what you were doing.
I feel like I was probably asleep because I feel like I was like, I woke up and was like, we're there, what's going on? I was like, we just had a tire blowout. I was like, so are we there? Like, I felt like I didn't know what was going on at the time.
And we're in the middle of nowhere. Like, the next town was like what, like 15 miles away. It was like all woods and like hills and all this shit. And I'm like, we had to. Good thing is like my phone was charged and we had internet and all that kind of shit. Like, so we were able to get to what was it, like a Pet Boys or something like that to get the tires up. But yeah, I never had a blowout before until that time. I mean, I've had my car breakdown before. Thanks, George, by the way.
I still feel like it wasn't my doing. It was poor decision making for sure, but I don't think it was because of that. And maybe, okay, you know what? No, I'm lying. I tried to make an excuse. The real reason is you gave me permission, and so it's not really my fault.
Super hungover. You're asking me. You're asking literally a drunk guy in the back of the car who's dying.
We took a trip. It was me, you, La Jen, and our friend Rob. I'm driving, and I don't know where were we going. Why were we even driving?
We were going to the beach. Like we're just looking around, like driving down. I mean, there was this in South Padre Island, so it's like just one main road that leads from one end of the island to the other one. So we're just driving up and down, trying to find a beach we can go and relax. But so first of all, this was a brand new car. Like I had it for like a month and a half. Yes, it was. I had just bought it like a month and a half. That's why we drove it down, because you're like, it's a new car. Let's take it down. And I was like, okay, let's do it. Second, the night before, we had gone out and we drank a lot. Like we had, I mean, at least I remember drinking a lot. And that's when
was that the time we went to that karaoke bar?
Yeah, and we walked out with the 2 pitchers. Yes.
Somebody walked out. Somebody, not we, a random person, an unknown person.
I walked out with 2 pitchers, which, they were useless after. But
yeah, whatever. We thought it was the coolest thing. Okay, so those pictures were like, it was like a picture, and then they were like somewhere like a quarter of it were like was blocked off so they can put ice, because apparently the beer doesn't come out cold wherever they were pouring it from. So they would put ice on that area, and that's supposed to keep the beer cold. And at that point, we were like already out on the beach all day and hanging out, and we get to hang out at this karaoke bar now. And so we're a little bit on the 2H2F side of things, and we thought it was the coolest thing. Dude, this picture is pretty much like everybody gets a picture. Yeah, it's like, this is the coolest thing ever. Which turned out to be like the dumbest thing ever. But so we were like, let's take it. And after that night, we never even saw him again.
I mean, they were probably around somewhere, but
they're probably still somewhere.
But anyway, so the next day we're driving up. Okay, so I'm in the back seat of the car, hungover. And I'm literally dying because, first of all, it's super hot. We did not have any water the whole day. And we're driving down the main road in South Padre. And there's like some sand dunes or like sand hills and on the main road. And you're the one driving. And Robert's on the passenger seat. And then what happens?
Let's explore. I think that's what the word was. Let's explore. The farther we go out from South Padre heading north, the sand dunes were falling down onto the street, making little bumps. So we take one bump and it's like, okay, cool, and then like whatever. And somebody, I remember, and I don't know if it was me or Rob, probably not you. Somebody says we should hit that hard, like get some air, like we should like try to like see what happens. And I was just like, yeah, that'd be cool. And so we do one, and that was pretty cool. Like, fine. And like it was super chill. Nothing that would have been like real bad. Nothing that would have done anything. It was just like okay. Like taking a speed bump a little hard because you forgot it was there, kind of hard. And then I get really like my video game side of me goes, I want to hit the next one even harder and fly. Just like if I'm playing Grand Theft Auto. Like, I'm like, that's the next thing I want to do. Just fucking take it real hard, get the highest score I can possible. And so I remember going like, hey, this next one, should we hit it hard or what? And I feel like you back there in the back seat said, go for it.
No, I did. I did say that.
And so I went for it. I was like, all right, I'm going for the high score. And I just fucking floored it. Man, we got some air. We hit that thing. And I don't remember hitting hard like on the ground. Like I don't remember like like it was bad. Like because I remember like we landed and I was like, okay, that was fun. Like I was like, yeah, like we were all cheering. But my mind never went like, oh, we hit too hard. You?
I remember it hitting hard. I don't remember everyone cheering. I just remember like everyone like freaked out a little bit that we hit hard.
Oh, we all freaked out. Maybe like I have way different memory of it. We weren't even drinking. So I don't know. My perspective on it.
We were younger and naive at that time. So this was what, like 10 years ago, maybe, probably more.
At least, yeah.
Well, and then we were about to, so that was the day before we left South Padre. And so the next day when we're leaving South Padre, you're in one car driving with Jen.
No. Even before that, because I remember, so we had no issues with the car that day. We go, and then Jen, there was just three of us there. We still had a full weekend to go and do it. Yeah, because Jen wasn't even there yet.
Oh, okay. Yes, true.
Yeah. So Jen drove in on because she had to work the night before, and we left that day. Like the day she had to work, we left. And that's why we had like a full day to ourselves, like just the guys hanging out. And then the next day, Jen was driving in. That's when we did the thing. And then Jen drove in. We met her up and we had our day. We were like, Jen, we found this like really cool karaoke place we should go to. And so we went to it.
Yes, I remember
and
now.
Your car died at the bar.
Oh, like
yeah.
So I had to leave there and then come back the next day. And did we jump start it? Like get it some way somehow we got it going.
I don't remember what we did.
Somehow we got it going, and it was a Sunday too, right? And it was like a holiday the next day or something like that.
Cinco de Mayo the next day.
And it was a Sunday.
Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah. So and we were driving out of South Padre, and out of nowhere, like you and Jen were in Jen's car, and Robert and me were in my car, and we're driving, and out of nowhere the car just like slows down. Like it, like even doesn't matter how far I go into the gas, it won't go any faster than like 5 miles an hour. So we finally stopped, and then like that's when we're like, fuck, something happened to the car. And there's actually a picture somewhere out there that of like me standing in front of the car, like looking all disappointed.
I think Jen has it. I don't know, but yeah, dude, that sucked. We ended up getting it fixed at some random fucking Mexican's garage. Some random Mexican was like, dude, I fix cars, but we're not open today. But if you bring it to my house, I'll fix it for you. And so we were there, and we're like, they were like, him and his buddies were gonna be there to hang out for like Cinco de Mayo. And so they had like barbecue planned and everything. And we're there like just in their house, like, hey guys.
And he fixed it, like he did whatever he had to do. And then we paid him. And then we had like an extra case of beer or some beers left. And we're like, well, we're not gonna drink them, so here you go. Like
yeah, they were all like, yeah, dude, yeah. Like they were all like, hell yeah, man.
I mean, he did us a solid. Like that was for a Sunday for Mayo. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Oh, not bad. That was a fun trip too. All right, Fernzers, I feel like we've gone too long. All right. I've had enough of it. No, I'm just kidding.
I wasn't paying attention. I filled my fucking glass all the way out.
Why? Because you know what? I was the last person to know that you were GAY.
Yes, you were not. You
What?
were not. You were the last person of my closest friends.
Okay, I'm the last person.
Of my closest friends.
I'm the last person.
But here's the thing. Why didn't you ask me?
Because I never saw it. I never even thought you were. It never once crossed my mind.
Okay, so but the person that met me maybe like a month before, he asked me, and that's how everything came out, right?
Well, no, I don't think so. I don't
Yeah.
know. Oh, did it? What do you mean?
Okay, let's go back to 2011.
2011, 2012, whenever it was.
2012. Okay, so yes, like that was the second time you meeting me, in the sense that, you know, I was at that point, I was in part of my life where I was more comfortable with who I was. You know, coming from now this is where we're gonna get serious, which you didn't want to do.
No, I'll fuck it up anyways. But
So coming from like a Mexican background, we have all this machismo and everything. So it took me a while to come to terms with who I was. Even though like I kind of figured out when I was in high school, when I came to college, to me it was a new experience. It was a new thing because I lived in Nebraska, and you know I graduated from high school there, and then out of nowhere I was like, I'm gonna go to Texas, and I ended up in Texas. I was like, okay, fresh start. Maybe I can start fresh, and I went through the motions of trying to figure out who I was, and it took me a while. It took me
what do you mean by trying to figure out who I was? Because everybody's trying to figure out who they are in college or most of their lives. Like as soon as you hit like puberty, you're trying to figure out who you are. So I guess what I'm asking is like, I don't know who I was in college, but I knew I wasn't gay. But on your end, did you know who you were in the fact of like what you liked or what you didn't like, or you're, you know, gay or not gay?
let's go back to when I figured out I was gay, right? So honestly, I pretty much knew since I was like 8 years old. And I remember this clearly because I've talked about this with other people that have come out to me and stuff like that. We were watching a telenovela, and me and one of my other cousins, I think I told you this story before, no?
No, I just laughed because you said telenovela, and I was like, "No, that shit gay."
Oh no. One of my cousins and I were watching a telenovela, and it was like the end.
Just kidding. Everybody has to watch telenovelas if you're Mexican, Hispanic, whatever you want to call yourself.
Yeah, and it was like the end episode of the novela, and you know they were getting married and all this shit. And so then my cousin kept looking at the girl like in her wedding dress, and he was like, "Oh, she's so pretty, she's so pretty." Like that's the kind of like I want to marry her and all that kind of stuff. We're like 8 years old, and to me, it was like I was looking at the guy, and I was like, "He's handsome. Like he's the one I would want to get married." So that's when I realized, you know what? Maybe I'm not as my cousins are. And so from there, kind of, it took a
That's
big.
a little weird too, because I'll look at Brad Pitt, I'm like, dude, that's a handsome guy. But
Yeah, but total different subject.
I guess there's two different kinds of handsome. The kind of handsome where it's like, yeah, there's undeniably that guy's handsome, whether you're gay or not. And maybe there's like, oh, that guy's good looking. I don't know. That guy makes me feel something.
That's the difference. Like you can look at someone and actually think that person is good looking, or they're like someone good to look at. But then there's the feeling part that attaches to it, right? So to me, that's what it was. Like I wasn't feeling like my cousin would say, like, "Oh, I want to marry her. That's the kind of girl I want to marry." He was like, "That's the kind of guy I want to marry." And so then from there, kind of just grew up into that, knowing that there was something different. I didn't know exactly what it was because at that time, we're talking about like the 90s. Seems so fucking far, dude, the 90s. It was in my family, it was kind of, that would never happen. Like there was no way anyone in my family would be gay, because growing up in Mexico, we use, those terms to identify a gay person as something being negative, right? And I remember like my parents, specifically my mom, whenever she would fight with like one of my uncles or another male, like she would use negative terms, gay, to like insult them, right? So to me, like that was something that would never fly in my family. And so growing up, I always tried to, I guess, hide it and kind of like fight it. because I wanted to be like my cousins who, they grew up to be pretty straight as far as we know.
Pretty straight.
No, just kidding. So when I went into high school, I came a little bit more into terms because I was a little bit more freed from my family. Like I was able to, hang out with other people, other friends, and I was able to kind of be more myself. So when I graduated from high school, the opportunity came to start fresh, somewhere new. And I was in Nebraska, where in South Sioux City, which was like super small. There's nothing else but cornfields. And so at that point, I was like, oh, I could go to a totally different state and start fresh, come up clean and come up new. My dumbass decided to go to Texas with more Mexicans than anything. And I ended up at the university, and I don't know, something hit me to where I was like, you know what, maybe that's not who I want to be. And I tried to kind of, I guess, fit in because, we lived in a all male dorm. And so it was pretty like
Paradise
straight.
for you?
No, please. It was pretty straight, straightforward. Like, I think we had maybe like one or two not out people that lived in the same building, right?
Yeah, I think so. There were, I think, I can't remember, I can't think of anybody that wasn't out, and that probably was, but I also know that my mindset was not, I wasn't there to like find who's gay, so I wasn't like looking, but I know there was a couple of people that were definitely out, but they were not out, like they were like completely out.
So when I got there, and I was placed in an all male dorm with 90% of them were Mexican, and knowing how the culture is, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna step back and I'm gonna go with the flow. And that really messed up my mind, because then I was like, maybe I'm not gay, maybe I'm just experimenting. And I tried to kind of like figure it out, I guess, throughout those 4 years that I was in college. But then like the second year, I was like, no, like there's no way I can't change that. Like I'm 100% gay. It's not gonna happen, because I dated a couple girls when I was in college, and to me that was, and it sounds bad, but I was trying to figure out where I was going, and I wasn't trying to use them or anything. It was just kind of like just went with the flow, and that's where we ended up. And then eventually I just came to terms with it, and what was it, like 2009 when like 2007 when I started probably like coming out to close friends. And then eventually I came out to you at a bar. We're taking shots, and yeah.
And all I was just thinking about was, are you still buying food after this or what?
Are you still paying for the shots?
Yeah. This is still on your tab, right?
Yeah. But I mean, honestly, it was kind of cool how it happened, because I did want to tell you, but I was building up to it. And the reason why is because, again, you're very Mexican. And like,
hey, okay. Well, I don't know why I took that offense. I was gonna get really offended, but I was like, okay, yeah, I am. So 23 and me, motherfuckers.
And you're not machista or anything. Like, I don't even know why like it took me so long to come out, but like that was pretty like now that I look at it, like it was interesting how it came out, because that's how I've lived the rest of my life since then. I came out to you because our friend asked me right in front of us, like, if I was gay. And so I was like, you know what? Just got to do it now. And so I did it. And so now I don't go around prancing like that I'm gay or anything, other than on this episode. But if people ask me, I tell them I'm not. My family, like aunts, uncles, don't know officially. But I mean, if they ask me, I'm not gonna lie to them.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to this podcast, less like share this out so much and so hard that Fern's aunts and uncles end up finding out through like some weird clip on Facebook. Please. Wait, do that again.
I say, hola, tío, hola, tío.
Oh man. Okay, so I think when you came out to me, the reason, I mean, I don't know your reasonings. I think your reasonings have always changed every time. Just kidding. No, I can see like the hesitation because back then I was a little more volatile, pretty aggressive. I didn't carry myself as like machismo and like I was like the biggest shit in the world and like whatever, but I did have like triggers and I was always down to like throw down if I needed to or wanted to. But also I would get upset and just start shit, Not in a bad way, not like always. It was always gonna be that guy. No. But there was certain triggers. So I can see like, yeah, but I don't think that was ever a trigger in my head where like
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, that was part of it, but also like to me was you were one of my closest friends. I mean, you still are one of the closest friends.
the only friend. On my end. But but okay,
But-
well, and I want to fix what I'm saying. Like I'm not saying like I was easily triggered and was a violent person, but when it came to like respect, if I didn't feel respected, I would bottle it up so much that at one point I would just explode, which wasn't healthy. And I think now at 10 years later, I feel like I have a good grasp on that.
Way to make it about yourself, bitch.
Sorry, no, I'm just saying because I don't want to seem like an asshole. Like, why didn't he come out to him? Why is he that important? Or whatever.
Oh,
And also, I didn't want to seem like when I said triggers or triggered, or I would like be volatile. I wasn't this violently volatile. It was just like I would bottle up a lot until at some point I would blow up, and nobody ever knew when I was going to blow up because I just felt disrespected. I was like, dude, I'm not somebody you should disrespect. And then boom.
Sorry, George, edit this out.
Fine. I don't give a fuck.
Okay, can you let me finish telling my story?
Sorry, I made it about me. Okay.
No, but also like what I was gonna say is like also like I like again, you were one of my closest friends. And to me, like once I would tell you, like that was it. Like there's nothing else to cover. So that was the beginning of the new part of my life, where it's like I didn't care about it. Where before, like I was very scared of even people just to think about it, that I was gay. Like that freaked the hell out of me. But as time went by, like I came to terms with it. And so like you were probably the last piece of the puzzle where it was like, okay, that's done. Whatever happens afterwards happens. Whether people ask me, they want to comment, they want to talk about it, they want to ask me, it doesn't matter. And again, that was to me like that was part of it too. Once the way you were, and the other part was that you were the end part of the new beginning. Does that make sense?
And I wasn't a bad person.
Y dale con lo mismo.
I was like everything you were saying was perfect. And then you said the way you were. And I was like, oh, that makes me feel bad. It's like
You weren't that person.
I would just I would deal with things
Here,
badly.
let's make it clear for the internet. He was not a bad person. He is now. Wasn't back then.
Yeah, my Twitter's clean. Ish.
You're what?
My Twitter. Yeah, don't check my MySpace.
Is your MySpace still active?
I'm sure it is because somebody told me that it was bought by somebody and there's still it's alive somehow, but you just have to remember your password, but nobody remembers their passwords.
I don't even remember the email I used to log in.
Anyway, Sorry, I made it about me again.
I know. Aren't you supposed to like make it about the guest and not about you?
Well, it's like a both thing because I still want people. I want people to come back to learn more about me because that's how you keep. That's how you make subscribers. People fall in love with you. You know, maybe.
Can we take a break?
Sure.
I need to pee.
Pee break. All right, friend.
Yes.
Just say fuck to the mimosas. Fuck the orange juice, man. Let's go straight to la marca.
Hey, straight to the point.
And so I might cut out everything we talked about the whole grinder shit. But here's the serious question.
Fucking asshole. What?
Since this is the official, non-official Pride episode, you know what? Let's make it a marketing move. You know what? This is the official podcast for Pride here in San Antonio. So if you're on this podcast during Pride Month, you are a pillar of the community. Now we're sharing information, but anyways, official, non-official. Let's go. So I wish I had. Oh, this is the official podcast, Pride podcast for 2022. Are we still in 2022? I lost track of time. Anyway, dude, I just want to know what pride means to you. Like, you've gone through, finding yourself and
Coming to terms with it.
Coming out to your volatile best friend. By being called out from somebody that was really close to you, to us. Anyway, what does Pride mean to you, man? What is this month, like this whole scene that every big label is turning their logo into rainbow? There's things that like you don't see for the other 11 months. Like, what does it mean? Like, the good stuff and the bad. What does it mean to you?
So the good thing about Pride to me is feeling that at least for 1 month out of the year, this is going to sound bad, but I can be as stupid as I want because there's no judgment to it. Like, right? Like, this is the month where you can go out and you should do this every month of the year, but this is the month when no one's going to care because it's Pride Month. And you can go on being stupid and be yourself and be whoever you want to be. Until recent years, I never really cared for Pride until maybe 4 or 5 years ago, where I understood exactly what Pride was, which is like the celebration of that movement of being happy with who you are and being what you want to be, being who you are, being who you want to be, and without any judgment. And that to me, screamed a lot to me. Like, it was just, to me, something to be happy about and be, again, coming from a Mexican family, this is something big to me. I've celebrated Pride in some of the major cities that celebrate Pride, like Miami and New York. And just seeing all the people out there, one of the biggest things is like seeing the parents out there for their kids. That to me was like amazing, because there was I saw a TikTok about this guy once that he was crying over like some video of like a young couple, like a two males like couple, and he was saying that like he was very happy for them, but he was very sad because he never got to experience that, because we're in a different generation of like where that wasn't accepted. Nowadays, I'm very happy for our young generations to come, because no one's gonna judge them about what they feel, who they are, what happens to them. I mean, not what happens to them, but like what they want to do with their lives, because that's the new generations coming through. I don't know if that makes sense. It's fucking.
That makes sense.
So yeah, so to me, pride it's that moment of being free, like being 100% free and no judgment at all. So you can edit everything before that. The negative thing about it is, yeah, like to a lot of people, it's more propaganda than anything else. Like it's just, I mean, it's like everything else, right? Christmas and New Year's and I don't know, fucking Halloween, which is another gay holiday.
Well, yeah, I guess so. It's a scandalous one for sure.
Huh?
It's a scandalous one. Like the older I got, the more scandalous Halloween got.
Oh yeah, I love Halloween. I mean, yeah, it's just that, like, it's just the whole fact that like it was one thing, and then corporations started taking over it, and it's just, which is not bad either. I mean, they're promoting pride, they're promoting it, even if they take advantage of it, but still, you know, they're promoting it.
I think that's what it is. It's like maybe they mean well, but for the most part, it's a money maker. You know, they're gonna want their product, like, especially like if it's something they could sell at Pride, they're definitely gonna be like, yeah, Pride for sure. The thing that gets me, and I'll say this, and I don't want to be like, oh, Debbie Downer, but a lot of those same companies that turn their logos into rainbows, they don't turn their logos into rainbows in places where, you know, the gay community is not welcomed at, or countries where the gay community is not, you know, accepted. And that's just like, well, if you support it here, then why not support it there? And why not push it there? And be like, yeah, this is who we are. If you want to buy from us, and this is what we support, but this is what we truly support. If you don't, then don't buy from us. But they don't do that because they care about the money.
That's the key. It's the money. But I mean, again, there's nothing wrong with it because the world runs on money. Like if without money, any kind of value to something, the whole world wouldn't run. So yeah, it sucks that some companies don't want to be 100% behind the movement, but it's understandable too. Like that's why we have other companies that keep fighting for it. And to those companies that do, like, they're amazing. We should support them more often too.
Yeah. I don't know which ones are the ones that will put themselves out there for no matter what, but
You can
I
find
also here's a list.
Yeah, here's the list.
Just fucking scroll like in The Simpsons where they just scroll real fast.
Do just the same company, but like over and over and over.
It's just gonna say Too Hard Too Fast podcast, just like all over and over and over. I think.
Hold on. Let me tell you one of my best Pride memories is one of the first San Antonio prizes. You, Jen, your mom and your dad went, and
when you were talking about it, I was thinking about it. When you were talking about what Pride meant to you, I was thinking about it.
Memories ever, because so like your parents were there, which your parents are pretty cool. I love them. Hi. And so there, I mean, if you've never been to Pride, you don't know what you're missing, first of all. Second of all, they throw little bags of like condoms with lube and all this other kind of stuff. And then your mom like reached out to grab it, and she picks it up like, I don't know, like if she was expecting something else, like candy or I don't know.
Candy. That's what she's. Yeah, she loves parades. So she was expecting candy.
She reached out and she grabs it like very excited, and then she looks at it and she turns to I don't know if I can say his name, David, and she's like, yeah, I'm not gonna need this anymore. Like that was fucking awesome. Like that was one of the best parts ever.
Well, it turns out that section where we're at, that section was published front cover, like the front cover of a magazine. I don't know if it was SA Current or what, but like a big magazine here in San Antonio. Like their opening cover, like the actual cover was that part. And I get a picture from my mom who was like, we made the cover. And we're like, you can see my mom out there, like we're like posing, and you can see my dad kind of in the back, and then you see everybody else. And I'm looking for myself, and all you really see in the cover is this. You can barely see like my face. It's like, dang it, I didn't make it.
That was really awesome. That was one
That
of the best.
was, and also my memory from I think it was like a couple years after that gay pride. We went and we were watching this drag show, and I had went and gotten drinks and came back, or I'm on my way back, and the drag queen that's on there, she's like calling out everybody in the area, like talking shit, like it was just for fun. And a drag queen, you'd say he or she? They? She. Okay. So she calls me out, and she's like, "Hey, honey, blah blah blah," like really like talking me up, like, "You look good," blah blah blah. I don't know. She made like a flirting comment, and I said, "Oh, I'm not gay." And she's like, "Well, why the fuck are you here?" And I was like, "I'm here to support my friends," like all fucking like proud, like all cool. She's like, "Honey, we don't need your support," blah, 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 like going in on me, like really going in on me. But it was like I was starting to be like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" And then she goes, "I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding." Like, like she was just putting me on the spot. And I started, I thought it was fucking funny because she like took me to like a yeah move to like a oh shit, and then brought it back down to like a yeah. And so I thought it was hilarious, and I've never forgotten about that. Like I've always like, yeah, that's fucking funny. Like you got me good. Like, yeah, why am I here? I was like, I don't know, but I'm having fun.
That could have gone so many different ways. Like why are you here? Because I'm straight. Or no, like, what do you say? Like I'm
For the
I'm
free drinks. No, I'm just kidding.
it could have been,
I'm here to support my friends. That's what I said.
or she could have been like, well, you're straight for now. You're a gay bar.
You think you are? I want to say Too Hard, Too Fast, the podcast is not. Yes, we're putting this as the unofficial gay pride episode, but I've done episodes about this conversation without it being gay pride. So
You've had some great guests who are LGBTQ, and I those are the honestly I'm gonna be honest and vulnerable right now. Those are the episodes that I actually listen to because I enjoy listening to their stories, talking to them, or I mean listening to them. So good job.
well, I hope you listen to all my episodes, but anyway.
And then,
Hey, I'm okay with being background noise.
especially the early episodes,
I'm okay. Yeah, the early episodes are bad. Not all of them, but some of them.
You've had some hits, some misses, and some you shouldn't be doing that in episodes.
And some of them you should have stayed sober for. And you know what? Here's a breaking news. If you made it to this far in this episode, breaking news. I'm gonna start a segment of this podcast. It's gonna be called the 2H2F Hangover. It's where I talk about the episode and how I felt the day after. Because we've had, in this sense, I've had moments where I wake up the next day and I'm like, oh man, I feel really bad about the episode. And they turn out to be really great, but the behind the scenes stuff and the things that happen, even though I don't think I've had anyone leave here in a negative fashion. I think that everybody has always had a great time. There was one where I did have to wake up the next day and apologize to the guest. And luckily, 3 days later, they responded to me and said, I had fun and I will come back on. But it was tense. And they were great guests and they were a big personality. I don't think I would say which one they are until you got to listen to The Hangover.
Fern.
What's up?
I zapped Jorge away to go get our food out of the car. I'm glad I get to see you. I hope I'm in your two-part, too fast story. If I'm not, that's okay. But
You are in for a little bit.
Okay, that's fine. That's enough.
Because I'm gonna throw a lot of names out there. So
Okay. Anyways, okay. What is your too hard, too fast story?
okay, related to pride. So it was kind of embarrassing, the too hard, too fast story. So I was into this guy in 2000 and I don't know, 11, maybe 12. I don't know. Anyways, we never going to Pride, and I was like, I'm gonna declare my love to this guy in Pride. Blah blah blah. So I did, and I got turned down.
It's like, I don't love you. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, I love you.
I don't love you.
Oh, okay.
Was it at the beginning of Pride or at the end of your Pride Day?
It was at the beginning.
I know. Did you stay like hanging out?
Yeah, for a little bit, maybe like an hour after.
I know, how awkward.
It was so awkward, and after
Oh.
like literally like I was buying, like I bought a drink for me and for him, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it because it's Pride and it's gonna happen. And
Love is love.
got the spirits.
Love. Yeah.
I did it, and it wasn't what I expected, which is fine because no one.
Did I know this person or is like a random person?
You know this person.
Okay. We're gonna have to talk about that off the record.
Off the record. Stop recording.
That's a good too hard, too fast story. ¿Tienes otro? But like a too hard, too fast, pero like in over there in New Jersey.
Well, there's
New Jersey, New York. New Jersey, New York. Like
how dirty do you want?
I was however dirty, man. Just do it. Let's do it dirty. I'm bored. When I get bored, I need it extra dirty. But anyways, yeah. Do you have a too hard, too fast story from New York?
Oh, yeah, but I don't know how PG-13 they are.
No, I don't want to say it. That's fine. Maybe when we do too hard, too fast goes too hard, too fast, XXX style or something, I don't know, Jorge, right? Like too hard, too fast after hours.
After hours.
After hours.
After.
Too hard, too fast after hours. Yes. When it's like a full moon and the ambiance is perfect. Well, it's okay. But I'm happy to see you. I'm happy that I got to hear your too hard, too fast story. Pero I need to go because I need to put the food away.
But Fernzers, we've gone too hard, too fast. This was definitely a different kind of episode, but a good one. We have way more shit that we can talk about, but I'm not editing that long of a podcast. So you're always welcome back on as long as you want to come back on. I know it took you forever to make this decision and come back on because the internet is forever.
It is forever. Thank you for inviting me. Hopefully I will be back on maybe in like 4 or 5 years.
If I'm around in 4 or 5 years, then I've done something right.
Well, hopefully. But thank you. And hopefully, we'll have another conversation and share some more stories and just get drunk and not care about the world.
I feel like that's not what the Fern I know would have said, but thanks for keeping it like
Hey.
Anyways, subscribe to Hard to Fast Podcast. Let's go. Dare to be you, dare to be weird. Bye. Where's my beads at?